So my passion project is cooking 2 Easter dinners because I like to cook. It's something I'm interested in. And this will be my first time, so the first thing we're gonna do is set the table, get on to prepping the food, and then we'll wait a bit, and then we'll start putting stuff in the oven. So this right now, we're just gonna start with the table. And yeah. Well, the first thing we're gonna be doing is laying up the chargers, and then, which are like, the base thing that you put your plates on top of, so. What you are seeing here is me placing the chargers out on the table. I'm then putting the plates on the chargers, and then I put the glasses on the right-hand side. I then put the forks and knives and spoons on the left and right-hand sides of the plates. Forks on the left, knives on the right. Then I'm folding napkins into little triangles and putting them. So now we're in the kitchen. This is my grandpa.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's pretty early. Well, not really. It was early. What we're doing is we're making a Boston cream pie, but it says it's a pie, but it's really gonna be like a cake, says Grandpa. But it has chocolate glaze on top. But we have to do this one first because it needs to be refrigerated. What you are seeing here is me mixing the cake batter mix from the box with all the ingredients to make the cake batter. What I am now doing is getting the butter into this cake pan. Just make it so the cake won't stick when we finally bake it and make it all nice. We're putting a little flour in there, and then we're just pouring the cake mix in. Now we just put it in the oven to bake. Carrots like this, we just washed them. We're cutting the carrots like this. We're making the 3 meals that we're making today. Because as I stated, Grandma already did some squash and some, what are the other potatoes? Are there other potatoes you did already, or you prepped?
Roast potatoes.
She did roast potatoes already. We're doing a roasted leg of lamb. It'll be pretty good. We're doing mini Hasselback potatoes. I don't know what those are, but
It's the first time. I've never done them.
my grandma's not done them, and she's been cooking for years.
Back in 79.
Back in 79.
I wasn't cooking for all of it.
And then we're doing brown sugar baked carrots, which that's what we're doing now because it's the easiest thing to do while our cake is baking because it's in the oven and it smells amazing right now. So what we're gonna do, safe with a knife, do this. It's gonna be harder with a small knife, but always keep your thumb behind and make sure your knuckles are there so that way you don't pop and lose your fingers. Okay, so we can take the cake out of the oven now. I'm gonna make sure middle rack. We're gonna bring this out a little bit. I'm gonna
Put
grab
them
it.
on the breadboard.
We're gonna put it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's over here. We're gonna take the other one. Super hot. We have that.
And you have to let the cake cool for 10 minutes.
So we're gonna let it cool for 10 minutes, and then we'll show you. Me and Grandma just have more of the carrot stuff set up here, so we're just getting it all set up, and then we'll show you what we're gonna do. So, see you guys. Okay, so what we've done so far with the carrots is that we've oiled the bottom of the pan so the carrots don't stick, and we have one layer. So what we're gonna do now, take your salt it up. do that off camera and then show you the finished product once we're done. So here's what we have so far, if you guys can see that. We've done the carrots. It's all saran wrapped up, and we're gonna put them in once the lamb goes in. So this is what we have so far. So finished product would have this.
And we're now going to put chocolate on top.
What I was doing was mixing up all the chocolates.
So we've gotten it all glazed. I mean, it looks pretty good. It looked better than it did when we just used a hot, wet knife and we did it to smooth it out, and now it looks good. Making the mini Hasselback potatoes, which are pretty much roasted potatoes with olive oil and what's it called? And herbs. So the herbs we have here are basil, chives, and parsley, and garlic, which is not really herb, but whatever. So I'm going to show you, the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to cut these potatoes, but not all the way through, just so there's like a little bit here so they can open up like that. So I'm just going to... and stuff on until afterwards, so we just put more olive oil on top with some salt and pepper. So that's what that looks like. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna roast them, and then we'll put our herbs in, and they should be tasting pretty good when we're done. Okay, so we've got our leg of lamb right here. We're gonna score the surface, so we're gonna put a little, not too deep, but just score it so we can put like the mixture for basting, and some of the herbs and stuff can get all in there. So the herbs we're using right here, we have thyme, which is it's very common when it comes down to basting. You got rosemary right here, so some nice rosemary. A clove of garlic.
Which will be peeled.
Which will be peeled, yeah, as my grandma would say over here. Salt and pepper, and olive oil, I would assume.
Those lines on the turkey are like the starting of the scoring, and then we've just chopped up the herbs and the garlic, nice like fine chop, very like minced kind of deal, and then we mixed them all up. We've transferred it into a bowl, added salt, pepper, and olive oil, and Dijon mustard. And then we mixed it up for a nice little thing. So as you can see, I'm scoring it there. And then I do it the other way, and look at that. You just mix it in. You want it all in there. You want it nice on top. It smelled delicious. It tasted really good.
Bro, there's not enough
We have some butter melting in here, and then we're going to add flour to make a roux.
You're talking about the kitchen.
And then we're
It's
going
the
to
kitchen.
deglaze it with some red wine. And then we're going to add some consomme. But then after we're done that, once the lamb is cooked, we're going to take some of the juices from the lamb and add that in, and it's going to be a good gravy.
They'll be
So
warm because there's
that's-
enough
that's
people
the
standing around.
Got the gravy that we're going to put into these gravy boats. We've got some squash. It smells amazing. Some nice roasted potatoes. This meat, this lamb, this is a nice leg of lamb that we did earlier. You saw me do all the rubbing and cutting it up and whatnot. I can't like carve it, so my dad did that. We got the potatoes, or not the potatoes, the carrots, and yeah, that's it. Everybody's coming to get the dinner, and that's it. for this one tomorrow as well. Happy Easter.